Okay, well thank you for having me, everybody. I'm a passionate Fuser user, and today I want to talk to you about revolutionizing construction visualization. So what is 4D BIM? 4D BIM is essentially taking your 3D federated files, attaching your schedule, and creating a 4D visualization. In terms of software, BIM is usually in Revit. Schedules nowadays is pretty much in Primavera. And then we're using Fuser to combine those two to create a great quality 4D output. So what is 4D? So we're all kind of used to 0D and 1D and 2D, right? It's pretty simple. We're now starting to get used to 3D, kind of the Revit revolution. That's great. And now we've added the component of time. And when you add that component, you complete the circle of the construction process. You've added your construction project schedule to the BIM, and you've been able to communicate that to your field teams. This is a quote by Miles Davis. He's a famous American jazz musician. And he said that time isn't the main thing, it's the only thing. And while I was creating this presentation, I kind of reflected on how important time is in terms of astrology, in terms of our own lives. Time is pretty much the most important component. And what we do with time defines who we are and what we do. So at Austin Commercial, what we like to do is we like to create 4D models from the very beginning. So the minute we get that bid pursuit, we start creating our 4D model. So in our 4D, for our bid proposals, it enhances our bid proposals by providing clients with a visual, time-based representation of the construction process, fostering better understanding and informed decision making. We then take that same team who worked on that model and we bring them to our pre-construction stage. And so we use that to improve project planning by visualizing construction sequences, leading to more efficient scheduling and risk mitigation. If there's a problem with the schedule, if there's a problem with the logistics, you want to find it then and not when you get to the next stage. The next stage is active project. So in active projects, 4D BIM ensures better coordination and real-time tracking of construction activities, reducing delays and enhancing overall project efficiency. And a little tip that we've kind of learned, I learned at Multiplex and then now at Austin Commercial, is that the same team who works on your bid proposal, take a few of those individuals and carry them through to pre-construction into the active project stage. When you do that, you don't lose information and you don't have to teach people that information. So the information flow is continued from the day you get your bid proposal all the way to substantial completion. Now I'm going to talk to you about 3 different projects. It's a $150 million budget. And what we use Fuser to do is, in a very fast amount of time, be able to help the client visualize our logistics phasing, quickly sequence different construction scenarios, and place parametric equipment and sequence the demolition on site. And so the client really appreciated this. We were able to turn this around in about 2 to 3 days, which using competing software is not really possible. The next project is Wells Fargo, Texas HQ. So Wells Fargo is one of the top 3 banks in the United States. They're building a new headquarters in Irving, Texas. The budget is about $500 million. And so we use Fuser right from the very beginning at the bid proposal stage. It helped us improve our visualization and communication. It enhanced our schedule management and optimization. And it reduced not only spatial clashes, but temporal clashes, so 4D clashes. We'll get into that in a minute. I do have a video. Let's see if I can play it. Know how to project this video? Anybody? Do I just drag it? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, so again, that presentation we were able to do that in just 3 to 4 days, from start to finish. And user really helped us do that. Grace, I think oh, yeah, perfect. All right, so the next project is Global Wafers America. This is one of our largest projects. It's one of the largest projects in the United States. It is a semiconductor silicon wafer manufacturing facility. The budget for phase 1 is $5 billion. It's right outside Dallas in a town called Sherman, Texas. And so we use Fuser on this project. It helped us improve schedule visualization for field teams. We use Fuser to track plan versus actual. Fuser has a great tool. If you import the actual dates in your construction schedule, it'll compare the plan versus actual. And it allowed us to plan more effectively and optimize schedule. There's just an example. So every time that we install piers, so this is underneath the building, right? And so every time that we install piers, we track which piers were installed. We gave this a daily report to the client, to our site teams, and everybody really appreciated that. And it kept everybody in the know of what's been constructed on the site that day and that week. This is an example of a pier tracking report that we would deliver using Fuser to tag the different elements that we've installed during the previous day and the previous week, and track how many piers to date. We also used it to sequence the entire project using 4D BIM. We clashed and signed off upcoming MEP install areas, so we were able to see which areas were having mechanical systems installed, so we were able to get ahead of the curve and sign those areas off because we were fully coordinated. And we were able to reduce not only spatial clashes, but temporal clashes. So clashes that are not necessarily your solid geometric clashes, but clashes that are temporary, that only occur in the schedule. It could be large equipment that need to be assembled in tight spaces and things like that. On Global Wafers America project, so we're able to kind of get ahead of the schedule. We're able to resolve clashes, fully coordinate areas. Right now we've resolved 9,848 clashes to date. We did the math on that in the house, and it's a few tens of millions of dollars of savings for the project. In terms of spatial versus temporal 4D clashes, we're able to use Fuser to kind of get to the nitty-gritty and a more detailed visualization in tight spaces. So this is our central utility plant for the facility. It's very tight with a lot of large equipment. So we're able to sequence all the work that's going in, make sure that large equipment, we leave out roof areas so that large equipment can be dropped in, leave out walls so that large equipment can get dropped in, make sure that they're orientated correctly, they can be assembled, maintained. So we're able to do all that in Fuser, which is good. Just to give you a little overview, so this is Global Wafers America. I'm the BIM VDC manager on this project. It's a 300mm silicon wafer factory in Sherman, Texas. It will create 1.2 million wafers per month. It's a 3.2 million square feet facility, and it will create 1,500 full-time jobs. I've been building 4D models for 10 years at Multiplex. It's my previous company, Multiplex Global, and Austin Commercial. I'm in communication. You want to communicate this with all your project stakeholders. So your design team, your trades, you want to, your in-house team, so our team at Austin Commercial, but also our field team. So our site supers are always in our meetings. They're the ones that are the experts on site, and those are the guys that will give you the great insights to improve your 4D sequencing. And then probably the most important point is data accuracy and maintenance. You want to maintain the 4D model, probably on a bi-weekly basis for sure, because as soon as it goes out to date, it's no longer useful to the site team. So you always want to make sure that it's up to date and that you've shared that information. So with that, thanks for having me, everybody.